Hello there, I'm the Base Manager and welcome back to Captain of Industry. Now my friends, today we are going to establish our basic diesel production, but before we get to do that, let's just fix one quick thingy. As we can see over here, our trucks are very busy. That's because there is, a handful of them, and a bunch of them are also assigned to other jobs. So let's start by building a couple of additional pickup trucks. We still have the rubber and we still have the piston parts. In fact, we can, build as many piston parts as we want, or at least within the limitation of our resource. But in any case, let's get that going. Let's get rid of all of these notifications. They are occupying half of the screen as we speak. Let's get rid of them. Now, over here, as we could see in the last episode, we have a node of oil, and we are going to exploit that oil for our advantage, and we are going to make a bunch of diesel with it. So let's go over here into crude oil refinery. We have two buildings, the oil pump and the basic distiller. Now this thing for now is going to require manually loading in coal, but eventually we are going to automate that with belts. It's not that difficult now. Let's go into the recipe, and as we can see, we can provide 6 units of oil every 20 seconds, and this thing needs 18 units of oil every 20 seconds, meaning it's a 3-to-1 ratio. Pretty simple. So let's just pause the game. I like to build these kinds of things with the game paused so that the workers are not delivering resources. You can also use the planning mode, but I'm not like that. This is oxygen not included habit, so yeah. In any case, let's go. Let's build 3 of them, of these thingies. You can build multiple of the same by pressing shift, and then we connect this to a basic distiller. Right, we can put it right in here in front of those oil pumps, something along these lines. Right, so, and then we use pipes to connect the oil to the distiller. Let's go like this, and like this. Now, in pipes and belts, directionality is important, so you must drag in the direction that you want stuff to go in. You can also change the flow of stuff later on, once it is built. So, but just keep in mind that's kind of important. Now, this thing also needs a smokestack. Right, there we go. The coal, like I said, is going to be delivered manually. In the future we are going to automate it, so we're not going to worry about it too much. Let's just not block that part just yet. And from here we can have the diesel and wastewater flow into different directions. First, obviously, we're going to store our diesel, kind of important. So let's build 2 of these. Bare minimum. There we go. And let's pipe this. Now, hopefully, I built this far enough that I can at least go like this, and like this. Can I? I can. Looks kind of funky, but you know what? This is why pausing is kind of a big deal. Let's go like this. Let's align those arrows with each other so it doesn't look all funky. There we go. Now, even though you can put pipes at a distance of 3 tiles, this is 1 tile, 2 tiles, 3 tiles, right? Trucks require a minimum of 2 tiles to go through. 1 tile is not enough, so we need to bring this to 2 tiles height. Can you connect? Yes, you can. There we go. This way trucks can move through here, no problems. Now, your excavators and tree harvesting thingies, they can't. No matter how high you put these thingies, they can never move underneath them. In the future, you're going to get ramps to overcome that difficulty. Now, we still have one more new refugees. Okay, well, let's stop the refugee thingy for a moment. We have too many workers. We don't want more. There we go. There's no point in getting more people, you have to feed them anyway, so... Cool. Now, wastewater. For now, we are going to let nature deal with the wastewater problem for us, so we are going to bring it once again into at least 2 tile high, and we are going to drive this pipe towards the ocean. Now we are going to need a waste pipe for wastewater in the future, so we can kind of like centralize it a little bit. Let's put it next to our pier. Let me just double check one thing. Okay, the oil is on that side, so I kind of want to have the wastewater pipe over here. There's no point in bringing it too far away from that. Let's bring this one to level 3, and let's just bring it all the way to the coast. One more. There we go, that's enough. You double press to put the pipe in place and let go of that strain of pipes. And now we go over here, waste management, liquid pump, and we'll let nature deal with this problem, because that's kind of our thing. Let's bring the pipe as far as we can on level 3. I think this is more than enough. Yes, it is. Beautiful. Once this thing is built, all the wastewater will go towards the ocean, and we won't be feeling guilty about it because we won't see that thing happening. Now we just need to let our trucks bring the resources, build everything. It's going to take a little bit of time. They are very busy right now, but once this thing is built, they'll have nothing else to do, and this is going to go back to stable. And there we go, the final resources are being delivered. We could technically quick deliver using Unity. This is a resource that you can use to speed up stuff, but right now there is no point in using that resource. And there we go, so now as we can see, we are producing oil. That oil is being pumped over here. We are going to need the coal to be transported, unfortunate, but for now it is what it is. And come on. Someone bring the coal over here, and as we can see, we are going to be starting producing diesel and sending this diesel into fluid storages, which is just fan-freaking-tastic, my friends. Now, it would be advisable to build at least 2 of these thingies, so let's go and Control C. Everything. Let's make sure that we include the smokestack, and let's go like this. Now, the Control C function does not, unfortunately, copy pipes, but that's fine. We can set up the pipes again. It's not that difficult. So let's go like this. Diesel goes into level 2, like so, and then we connect it into that pipe over there. Beautiful. And this needs to go into level 3, so that it can connect over there into the wastewater. Beautiful. Now, you'll have to excuse me, but at least in the early game, my pipe laying skills are not yet the best, but eventually, once things become a little bit more permanent, because once again, this is temporary. We are going to unlock a far better recipe in the future, and this is temporary and is going to be deleted, so in the future I will reorganize my pipes better, but right now there is no point in doing so. We just want to be as efficient on space as possible, and making sure that things have you can access buildings, right? So they can deliver coal through here to this building and through here to this one. And now there is one final thing that we are going to build. You see this generator over here? Well, it's not going to stay in there for longer, because now we have access to diesel production over here, and so we can pipe the diesel into a couple of generators, right? Now, we really don't need a lot of diesel storage, so let's... But, because I want to have rubber production right in here, because it's actually pretty simple and compact. The generators, they could be, like, for example, on this side. I think that's okay. So let's put one generator over there, and then we can just extend, put a pipe in here, and then supply fuel to both sides of the pipe. Sometimes English difficult, I'm sorry friends, but sometimes English a little bit difficult. Wait, let's not do it like this, because in the future it's not going to allow me to continue with the pipe. Let's redo it. We need to set it at least 1 tile away from the entrance, otherwise it will not allow me, come on, connect, allow me to do this for future continuation. If it was right there, it would give a weird error message, because sometimes it allows you to do this, but other times it doesn't. It's just safer to put it 1 tile away from the main entrance. Now, my friends, unfortunately our trucks are going to start transporting our diesel from here to here. However, what we are going to do is we are going to keep fuel for ship, just like a reserve. This is going to force some fuel to stay in here, which is, you know, it's probably for the best. Shall something horrible happen and we don't notice that our fuel is gone, at least we have a little bit of reserves in there. And here we go. So this is one less task for our trucks to do, right? Because the fuel is going to be delivered automatically in here, and we can turn off this thingy. Every time you have something being delivered automatically, it's better to just turn the truck import off, otherwise your trucks eventually, they'll be bored, they'll have nothing to do, and they will just ferry resources around unnecessarily, and that costs, you know, fuel. Now we can delete that thingy, recovering 11 parts and 11 electronic components. How much does this cost? 15? Okay, we have a loss of 4 components. That's totally fine. Totally fine. We can produce those resources now, so it's okay. Now let's just build a few additional pickup trucks, because we are going to be moving into other thingies. Now we are going to unlock, we already have unlocked, the concrete production. Now this thing, we don't really need to set it up like right at this moment. We have access to concrete, so that's not exactly a priority. I think we have other priorities, to be perfectly honest. Like, for example, getting this thing. If we can get this thing as fast as possible, that would be great. So let's go in here and let's build 2 additional thingies. And of course, as per usual, I do a blunder. Why why are my planning skills so terrible? I don't know. Like, someone with terrible planning skills like myself loves playing these kinds of games. I don't know. Maybe the opposites attract each other, and that is a universal truth. You know. But well, doesn't really matter. Let's just build more research labs so that we can get that research going as fast as possible, so that we can unlock the level 2 parts, because you need level 2 parts to build a conveyor belt, so. But well, my friends, now we come to the part where housing a couple of construction parts becomes useful, because, you know, we are running low on the construction parts that we have available to us over here, right? And we don't really put stuff in here into storage, right? That's not really a thing. So what we can do is just come over here and slap this bad boy right in front of this thingy, which is going to allow us to house at least 180 construction parts, which is pretty nice. The other resources, once again, we don't really need to house them. Having just this amount is more than enough to keep, you know, our needs supplied, and that includes pistons or vehicle parts, because we kind of only need like 15 to build trucks and 30 to build excavators, so we can just wait for the production to provide us with those resources. But construction parts, things are becoming a little bit expensive. Imagine only being able to access like 15 construction parts at a time for something like this, for example, that cost 60. We would be waiting a little bit, so it's better to start housing those as of now. And this thing over here can be deleted, because it's going to take a very long time until we dispose of that wood. We now have a warehouse over here that can keep that wood in order to be used for production and for trading, so we can get rid of this mausoleum over here that is doing nothing other than occupying space. But well, my friends, even though it might feel like it is necessary to establish your concrete production, until you get rid of this, don't do it, because this thing is in the way, and like, if you don't get rid of these resources, it's just going to be annoying to get rid of them, okay? It's like, sometimes, like in my testing playthrough, I got a few iron scraps stuck in there, and it was just annoying to get rid of. So, yeah, let's take care of that right now by, come on, game, by ramping up our production of iron, because why not, right? Let's go like this. Unfortunately, we can't house these resources because we don't have belts, and I don't really feel like building one warehouse in front of everything, single one of these. So until we have belts, we can't house them, so it's better if we have these. And in this one, I'm just going to use the iron scrap, just the iron scrap, because otherwise we'll never get rid of the iron scrap that we have in there. This is thinking about the future, you see. Alright, my friends, we have finished another beautiful research storage. Now, there is different kinds of storage, obviously, in the game. You have liquid and solid, right? However, within solid you have two different types of solid. You have unit and loose. Unit is for items such as wood, plates, stuff like that, right? Loose is stuff like sand, rocks, gravel, slag, ores, garbage, right? Makes sense, right? Stuff that is loose, like sand, right? You can't... It's not like it's rocket science, and the fluid storage, it's self-explanatory. Now that we have unlocked this thing, which is pretty cool, we can now start storing resources such as the iron and coal, which is going to give us a lot of longevity in the long run. But before we do that, because we are kinda running low on construction parts, we are just going to use the next construction parts to build another one of these right here. Unfortunately, we cannot put a warehouse in front of it. Unfortunate, but that's the way life goes. And let's just, I don't know. You know what, let's build two of these, because it doesn't really matter too much where you put them, what you do with them. Not exactly important. But these two thingies will be responsible for building additional construction parts, and in here we'll just do this, which means that the trucks will pull the resources from this thingy and put them inside of the unit storage once we are not using them, so that we can store even more resources. Alright, here we go. Now, if you press the key V, you can copy the settings and just put them into other similar buildings, just to make your life a little bit simpler, right? Now, in order to build stuff, you have to remove the keep full thingy, otherwise, you know, it's, the units will not use the resources under the green bar. Yeah, if you just put the construction parts over there, and once the output is full, the worker units will pick up the stuff and deliver there anyway, without you requiring the keep full thingy. That was a little bit of a mistake on my part. But yeah, my friends, now that we have a bit of construction parts going, let's build one of these. Right, let's see, our smelting area is going to be coming in here. So I want to put some resources right here. Maybe give it a little bit of room so the trucks can move behind it. Let's go like this, and then we put another one in front of it. No, let's not do that right now. We'll leave the space, right? Hopefully future me will remember not to build a belt right there, and we'll put another loose storage in front of it, because, you know, just you can chain several things. Let me just pause the game. You can chain several of these thingies together to increase your storage capacity, but, you know. Right now we kinda want to save the resources, and let's go like this. Iron ore can now be stored in here, and these vehicles will start depositing it over here, and then once this thing requests iron ore, another vehicle that is just idling around will pick up the ore from there and deliver it over there. Now we can do the same for our coal over here. Let's put one right there. Now, my friends, there are several ways you can play this game. You can kind of factorial this thing around with just belts and pipes, okay? There is nothing wrong with that, but personally, I think that given that you have worker units, it's far better if you create like modular designs of things, right? Like you can create a modular design for parts production, right? And in the end you have a warehouse, and your worker units will pick up the construction parts and deliver them to the next assembly line that requires them. That's how I feel that this game kind of should quote unquote, because it's a sandbox game, you play it however you want, but this is the way that I'm going to play the game, because I love worker units. I just love games that give you worker units, and not using them would be a shame. Alright, synthetic rubber on its way. We are going to need the synthetic rubber so we can get that production line going, and now we have the construction level 2, and after that we have the conveyor belt. So finally, I can't wait to get those things. Those things are revolutionary to this game, like it completely changes the game. So yeah, let's get those things going. Where the hell is the rubber production? Here it is. So as we can see, we are gonna need either sulfur or coal plus diesel to make the rubber. Well, we have coal somewhere in the map, and guess what? We have a bunch of diesel. How about, I don't know, we gonna make use of this, right? Let's see, how am I gonna do this? This is going to look a little bit ugly, okay? Just a tad bit, don't worry too much about it. We are going to align it over here, like so. And we are going to pipe it the following way. Pipe underneath, like so. And then we'll bring the belt over the pipe and connect it over there. But right now there's no point, there's no belts. Wastewater is this thing over here. This is wastewater, yes it is. Level 3, 1, 2, 3, connect it over there. I can't connect it over here, right? Well, I mean, technically I can, but yeah, it's probably better looking by doing things this way. Okay, and then the rubber will go through here, underneath the pipe, into a warehouse that we are going to locate right here. But for now, this is what it is. Eventually, someone will bring the coal manually, and we are going to be done with it. Eventually, what we are going to do is we are going to build one of these, a loose storage somewhere, probably somewhere around here, and then we'll belt resources into these coal input and into these ones using belts. But right now, there's no point in building it because we don't have the belts. But we do have a rubber. There we go. Diesel is delivered automatically. The coal will be delivered by truck, and then the rubber will be removed by truck, and the wastewater chained into our sewage pipe right there. But yeah, my friends, with this building over here, we now have achieved self-sufficiency in several resources. We now have diesel and rubber that will no longer be dependent on anyone. We have the iron. We are still getting rid of some of the scrap, but we have access to iron ore, which means we can get rid of it. We can produce it very easily. Wood is the first one that you can have access to, so no problem there, right? And that means that construction components are almost renewable as well. We just want to get rid of some of this concrete. I can, yeah, we really need to get rid of it. Otherwise, we are just going to get stuck with it. So once we are done with those concrete slabs over there, we'll establish our own concrete production. So we can wait a little bit on that. But while we are waiting, there is a few things that we can start to do to help us out in the future. You see, we are going to require water to make the concrete. And so what we are going to do is we are going to actually build a bunch of rainwater thingies. Our concrete production is going to be right here because we have the limestone and the sand, which we are going to need for a concrete recipe number 2. And the first one doesn't require sand, but the second one does. So what we are going to do to help us out in the future is we are going to put a couple of rainwater harvester right here. In fact, we are going to build 3 of them. Found that 3 of them actually work pretty well with the frequency of rain, and we are going to put a fluid storage right in here. Like, come on, align it, thank you, beautiful. And this way, even though we are not going to need it right now, we'll be able to start collecting some water, because, you know, rain is inconsistent, so maybe once we need the water, we won't be able to have access to it, you know? So this way, we already have a little bit of water accumulated in a storage. Oh, and construction level... Oh, awesome! Construction level 2 is done! Beautiful! Let's go right here and let's put one of these bad boys right in here. And in here we are going to make construction parts level 2, yes! Finally! With those construction parts level 2, we will be able to build belts, and so we kind of want to accumulate a couple of those. Let's put a storage right there, which will allow us to start accumulating those over time. They construct slower than the regular parts. Regular parts is 4 per 40 seconds, this one is 4 per 80 seconds, so, you know, it's a 1-to-1 ratio when it comes to construction parts, because you need 8 construction parts to make 4 construction parts level 2. So if if you want to accumulate construction parts level 1, you need to have more assemblers for level 1 than you have level 2. Now, my friends, in preparation to get the conveyor belt technology complete, what we are going to do is we are going to copy one of these. I want to have at least 3 sets of furnaces going to get the iron plates that we are going to need in the future. after we get this one, we'll probably need a few more things. Like, for example, we need another loose storage. In fact, we are going to need 2 of those, and you'll see why in just a second. But we are going to put one right there, and then we are going to put another one in reverse right here. Now, why do we need this one? This one is for the slag that is produced by melting the iron ore. As you can see, we produce a little bit of slag, and the slag comes through here. So let's select this recipe right now. Oh, and I forgot to build these things, because of course I always forget to do something. Don't worry, it's fixed. Beautiful. And oh, belts are now done finally. Now we are going to request some coal to be delivered over here, and now the belt mayhem can begin. Now we are not going to completely focus on belts this episode. We are just going to automate the things that we already have built, and in the next episode we are going to start assembling. We are going to start making proper assembly lines, nothing like hugely ugly like this. No, this is temporary, and in the next episode we are going to get rid of it, because we are going to actually build something that it is efficient and that it works automatically without a lot of our input. Now, in here we need to automatically deliver iron plus coal. Now, we know that these are loose items, and therefore we must use the U-shape conveyor to transport loose items. Regular items are transported in the flat conveyor. So, let's go. I think that we'll go like this. So, as we spoke previously, is this a good distance? I sure hope it is, because otherwise I kind of screwed things up a little bit. Nothing that can't be fixed, right? So, as we said previously, trucks require 2 tiles to move underneath it, right? And we are transporting 2 resources, which means we are going to require height of tile 2 and height of tile 3, right? So let's go like this. Let's bring the coal on tile number 2 all the way over here, and then we move one forward, and then we bring it down like so. Let's connect the coal into this one. Beautiful. And like so. Beautiful. Now the iron, we are going to do something very similar, but we are going to bring it to height level 3, and we are going to align this thingy. Now, if you press R, the belt will stop trying to connect itself, and makes it very it makes it far simpler to build stuff like this, where your belts go on top of each other. Otherwise the game will always try to connect them, and it's kind of annoying. There we go. And one more forward, then we press R again, so that the game will attempt to connect the belt. There we go. Beautiful and beautiful. Now let me just okay, no problem, because this one we want to burn iron scrap as well, so I kind of want to make sure that the trucks still have access to it. In fact, we are going to have both of these things run the iron scrap recipe. However, in this one we are not going to select the iron ore, which means the materials are going to just stay in here in the front, right? So that we can burn all of that useless scrap metal that we have next to our base. Now we need to set up a proper line for the slag. There we go. Let's go like this. 1, 2 at least. Come on, be a good boy. There we go. Beautiful. Let's go like this. Tile number 2, and let's bring the line all the way over here. We can go like this, and then like this. Okay. Let me just try to align with the existing ramp so it kind of looks a little bit flush. And there we go. Now we just connect the slag lines. Like, aww, damn it! No, I built this wrong. Oh, it's going to look ugly. God damn it! I hate these kinds of things. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, we'll attempt to make it not look so god-awful ugly. So we go like this, and then we connect like this. There we go. At least this way it looks slightly better. Just slightly, you know. Come on. There we go. Now it doesn't look as bad. And now once all of these belts are built, the forge area is going to be 100% fully automated. Oh, one final thing, my friends, I almost forgot, but this is probably the most important part. the storage unit, you know. Now 3 thingies, at least until the very like mid-game, is more than enough. So we are going to put 1 storage right here, and the reason for that is because in the future we can just put additional storage in front of it and it's not going to be that ugly, right? And then we need to belt those thingies, those resources, like so. Come on, don't be annoying. Bam, bam, bam. Ah, no! God damn it, why I do these kinds of things. This is oxygen not included all over again. Now, let's use the Unity to quick remove and just pretend I didn't make that mistake. Ah, parts wasted. God damn it. Like I said, this is oxygen not included all over again, where I don't pay attention to the arrow thingies, right? There you go. Come on. Beautiful. And then we connect like so, like so, like so, and like so. And this way we'll be able to put all of those iron plates inside of a storage device. And now I don't know if the speed of this belt is enough to just evacuate all of these machines at the same time. If it is not, we just divide all of these machines into 2 different belts. It's not like the end of the world. Would you look at that, we already filled up this storage unit with a bunch of iron plates, because that's how quickly we can ramp up our production using belts, my friends. These things are just absolutely bonkers. Now, belts, like I said, use yellow parts, yellow construction parts, and we only have 1 manually assembly thingy producing. We could either upgrade this thingy, or we can boost it using a little bit of Unity, which we are going to do so because we are going to go through a bunch of belts, and so it's just best if we just, you know, use a little bit of our Unity to boost the production in here. It is going to be better in the long run than building a second unit. So yeah, and then is a lot less things to deconstruct. So yeah, I think this is probably the best course of action. But well, my friends, while we are waiting for the completion of that, how about we put other things into oh, you know what? Let's go straight into efficient concrete. This is the recipe for concrete level 2, right? So instead of just going through level 1, why don't we completely jump that into level 2? Let's also get the fuel station. This is ultra mega, like, unbelievably important to have in order to increase the efficiency of your buildings. And we can get, you know, look, let's get this, and this. All of these are self-explanatory, right? This is farms level 2. This is the crop rotation thingy that I talk about. Oh, in fact, that thing is even more important. So let's make sure that we actually get it as the second research going, and then we can have the other things, because their order is not exactly important. We can get all of these. This is just so that we can actually access the underground water reserves. It's going to give us, you know, it's better than relying on rain to give us water, right? Beautiful, look at that. Resources being automatically delivered to machines. What is not to love about this? Now, these things won't split things evenly, or at least, like, how should I put it? This thing splits 50-50. Right? It always splits things evenly. However, because you have several in a line, this thing is going to receive 50% of the resources, this one is going to receive 25, and this one 25. If you add more, this one would receive 25, this one would receive 12.5, so on and so forth. Right? Eventually you are going to unlock balancers, but for these purposes, because we can input more than the machines use, it is perfectly fine to build things like this. And yeah, my friends, this thing is built, and now very, very important, always keep your slag storage empty, at least for now. In the future, you are going to require slag for concrete, but you will always produce way more slag than you need, so always empty out this thingy, and your trucks are going to pick up the slag and dump it over here in the ocean. And as we can see, our pier is starting to grow. We can see garbage, slag, dirt, and grass that got deposited over here from mining efforts and waste disposal efforts and all of those thingies. And yeah, that's just wonderful. Now let's set up the last bit of belting that we are going to do in this episode, which is for the coal and the coal for the rubber and oil production, because you know, it's kind of important to get this thing automated kind of quickly. Now let's give a little bit of room so that we can create a path for our trucks to move underneath this thingy, and let's go over here, U-shaped conveyor. Let's bring it to level 2 over here. No, game. No, over here. And then over here, and then we connect like so. Then we split over here on this line, simply because, you know, the line exists, so how about we use it, and then we bring it over here into this line as well. Bam, is this enough? Nope, this is not enough. Let's bring it a little bit more over here. This is, I'm pretty certain is more than enough to bring this ramp down without major problems. So let's go like this, and connect. Beautiful. Once this thing is, come, unpause the game please. Once this thing is built, then our oil and rubber production is going to be fully automated, and then we are going to select one of these beautiful thingies, and where I'm gonna put my I should have probably thought about this a little bit, shouldn't I? Yeah, thinking is for losers, my friends. Who likes to think? No one. Think. Why should I think? I feel offended by the idea that I should think about things. Please, let's just build, and then we'll let future me deal with the consequences, because that's usually what I like to do. There we go. See? Bam, why think about things? Don't overthink. This is okay, let's be honest. This is temporary. Once we unlock the better fuel distilling process, we will be moving all of these thingies into another area, so that's why I'm just being so liberal with the position of my belting. Oh, and let's just come over here and select coal. Keep full, let's say 50% full, it's more than enough. And oh yeah, these kinds of things can happen where your trucks get stuck because they like to build things from the other side. I mean, you shouldn't get stuck, you have a path through there, don't you? Nope, navigation says you don't. But that's fine, you recover the building, the vehicle, and the vehicle will just zoop, transport from here straight into your depot. And here we go, my friends. Rubber now being fully automated and stored in a unit storage, which is just absolutely wonderful. This thing is now fully automated. Our trucks should only come in here to refuel and to transport stuff around, which is just absolutely wonderful. Now, my friends, even though this looks deorganized and incapable of scaling up, you don't want to scale up this production, okay? Like, these things produce more than enough fuel for you to keep your trucks and your and your rubber plant sustained with diesel. As you can see, this consumes 4 every 30 seconds, and one of these produces 8 every 20 seconds. So we are producing more than we need, and we don't want to have more than one rubber maker, because rubber, it's not like you are not going to be using that much rubber. Okay, even if you have a ginormous assembly line, which you are not going to have, because this game, like, how should I put it? This game disencourages you from having massive production lines with the fact that you need to have workers. Workers need food. Farms are ginormous, and your space is limited. So if you want to have a lot of factories, you need a lot of workers that require a lot of food. And you don't have a lot of space. Do you catch what I'm trying to say in here? Because yeah, that's like kind of the way that I feel that the game limited your expansionary efforts, right? You need to take a few things into consideration. Are you guys done with this? Oh, finally we have like got rid of the concrete and the iron scraps, which means we should probably just order a little bit of concrete from our neighbors. Just make sure that we have a little bit of supply in here before we set up our proper concrete thingy over here, which we are going to do in the next episode, my friends. Not only that, we are also going to start creating proper assembly lines. We're going to get rid of this, and we are going to automate the creation of certain components. But yeah, my friends, all of that and much more to come in future episodes. But with all of that said, I hope that you have enjoyed this episode and that you are enjoying the series so far. If you are, please consider subscribing and help the channel grow. But in the meantime, this is the Base Manager signing out. Bye bye.